told myself that after the initial ones were released, there was no reason to ever really revisit this. But I think that the latest E3 showing has been hyped enough that it does open the door for me to provide a few comments on Arcade1Up yet again. This is the last time though, for sure. But really, this is probably the last time, maybe. So the last time I made an Arcade1Up video, on a whim I might add, it ended up getting almost 90,000 views. There was also some serious backlash because I noted that, to me, these kind of lack the key attributes that I think of when I think about an authentic arcade machine, and that's not really a shock, right? I also didn't really bash these guys though. I just said, to me personally, I found the units to be too small. I didn't feel as though they hit that sweet spot between a bar top and a full-sized machine. And that's just my opinion. And if we want to be direct, let's be honest, I had every opportunity to call out the number of issues that the first batch of these had, but I didn't do that. From what I could tell watching from the sidelines, Arcade1Up made decent efforts to try and correct a lot of the issues that they had with their early units, and I did feel bad for the people who bought these and were trying to get their service requests taken care of. Now, was there some tongue-in-cheek and friendly ribbing from me here and there in the various comments? Oh, absolutely. It's a kind of teasing that you do with your friends, but then online when people don't know you personally, kind of can be taken out of context, and all of that just kind of unraveled and has been a great lesson learned for me. It doesn't mean I'm going to stop, it just means I'm not going to be surprised by how serious some people can take certain topics. At the end of the day, my core thought was just that I was surprised these were being seen as the Goldilocks solution between a bar top and a full-sized machine. That's it. I have no ill will or hatred towards Arcade1Up. I have friends who have bought these. Some of you guys who are viewers have bought them and have messaged me and teased me about it. It's really all in good fun, and I truly do hope that those of you who have bought them, those of you that have modded them, have played them with your kids, or even simply just use them as room decoration, I genuinely hope that all of you are enjoying them. Alright, that speech has been sitting with me for about a year. Felt good to get that one out, but let's just focus on yesterday's announcement. The Ninja Turtles cab and Marvel Superheroes cabs. Now the latter I'm not totally shocked by. They had a license deal with Capcom already for Street Fighter. But good for them unlocking in Marvel and making that happen at a pretty ideal time to be involved in, well, anything Marvel really. X-Men and Marvel Superheroes are decent fighting games, as are most Capcom fighters, but I really like the inclusion of the Punisher on this unit. Now I have a ROM hack that allows this to be played on CPS2 hardware, and I run it in my cab fairly frequently. It's a fun game that is very representative of the early 90s arcade scene. It's an awesome addition and a nice switch up from the two fighting games on this unit. But the Turtles is the machine everyone is really talking about. I'm impressed that they locked the license in for this. I also believe this is the first 4-player outing for Arcade1Up, and I'll tread carefully here because I don't want to dwell on past musings, but I am a little concerned about sizing, and getting 4 people huddled around this could be a little challenging. I know Rampage seemed hit or miss with elbow room depending on who you asked, but adding a 4th player might make things extra tight. It does look like the panel extends a little wider than the machine's base, somewhat similar to what you would see on an old Midway machine, which should hopefully give more room for players. They also pretty much had to go the 4-player route on this. I mean, that's really the spirit of the game, so again, kudos to them for even making the attempt for this to happen. So, here is where I make my somewhat controversial statement. This is purely a hypothetical because I recognize Arcade1Up has the Turtles license and it makes total sense to capitalize on that with both games. I get that, it's not lost on me. But Turtles in Time is probably the better of the two games. It just is. However, the first Turtles game is probably the more iconic of the two. It's just the one that everyone remembers playing. What if we scrapped Turtles in Time and instead made use of the 4-player layout with another 4-player 80s cartoon from Konami, G.I. Joe? Yeah, I know it's another license to chase down. I get it. That's why I said this was a hypothetical. But I like that the duo of Turtles and G.I. Joe would give you two different style games to utilize with a 4-player layout, as opposed to just another beat 'em up. If we really wanted to get crazy though, give me Simpsons and Sunset Riders too. The latter you would only need to license through Konami, although it doesn't necessarily fit with the 80s cartoon theme we have going on. I don't know, it's fun to think about what tandem would be most ideal, and I know some of you who are modding these will do all of them anyways, as you well should, but my official stance here is that I would take the first Turtles game and G.I. Joe any day over both Turtles games. So go ahead and fight me in the comments, or at the very least, give me your ideal Konami 4-player 1-2 punch combo when you're clicking that dislike button, because that guy made another Arcade1Up video. That's it for today, everyone. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Later, guys.